Hi guys, it's May. So it's a new contest starting for the entire month for everybody who comes to Facebook, joins, follows me, shares, comments, interacts, as well as on YouTube. It's counting each time you do it as one entry. So I'm going to give at the end of the month 3 20-minute readings. For those of you who want to know if you won, check the Facebook. I have announced 3 winners today for the month of April, pardon me. Okay, so let's start with the X spread. Hi guys, here is my X spread, and for those of you who know the significators, please look at the timestamp and you can just really go right into the reading. For those who are the first ones here or who still want to understand how am I making this actually work, just listen the explanation, and here it is. I have created a spread. It is known Cat Tarot Knows X spread, but it's also applicable for on and off relationships, and even to kind of like figure out the feelings and intricacies of your relationship. Why? Because I have actually used 7 categories, and 7, right? It's a kind of like really magic spiritual number, and also the entire spread numerologically adds up to 3. 3 is like that card of union of Trinity, so it is something that can kind of like raise from the ashes, right? So I'm just trying to figure out what can work, what cannot work. As I say in my private readings, you have to understand that not all relationships are meant to be. Like when you get together with someone, everything is really nice in the beginning. We want to charm, we want to be our best, but sort of like that enthusiasm maybe kind of like falls off with time. People get sidetracked, people meet other people. So one category here that I'm exploring, the very first one, is the Magician. So in tarot, Magician is a number 1. So of course it means, is this a go? Can this relationship ever be a starter? So what is Magician doing? Magician is somebody who comes to work and he goes, okay, let me crack my fingers and I'm going to start working. What do I need to do today? Wow. And there is a task, it's a little project list, and then he starts to manifest. So it's a start before the start. So what does he want to manifest? Look at the difference. He kind of like wants to use all the available tools, right? You see all of these tools here are now floating. They're activated. So I really want to see what is in this category. This category is going to tell me if you guys had all the ingredients to make a relationship. What in this category you have? Love, devotion, family, kind of like sharing. Then I say, yeah, like really good ground. Like there's like a great foundation for this. But what if you have, let's say, love and then lack of reputation or lack of family or jealousy? Then obviously, that's going to have issues. Sometimes it's just like downward negative. So the things that are supposed to help you are just basically things that are tearing you apart. And sometimes you have all but one element, and that one element seems to be important. It is like having 4 tires for a car and have an engine and have windshield and have all the other windows. Name it, rename it, and the key is there. And you start with a key, you try to crack it, and you realize, whoa, I don't have a gas. So you're not going anywhere with there. So this is why sometimes we feel that the one night stand was like more promising than it was, and it wasn't. It actually haven't ever been there. Maybe at the time and place it seemed kind of important, and it hasn't been important in a global kind of like scheme of things. And we as women, especially women, and even some more romantic men, and I would tend to think that these are the men who are actually coming to these tarot sessions with me. They're like lesser percentage, but there's still 25% of men over here. And I think these are quality men, and I wish that they actually speak up a little bit more, because people who connect with tarot really want to find out the real answers, and they really want to be in touch, or not only with the others but with themselves. So this is the category number 1. Category number 2, I picked this angel. I think it's Michael, who is trying to, I think, in biblical terms, merge wine and water. Well, that's not a really big deal. But here in tarot, it's basically talking about trying to merge two different things. So, of course, in a relationship, there are two different people. And even if you get along, you still have your own intricacies that might not really fit properly, right? So, what's basically happening here is, okay, let's put this together. Let's create this passion. Let's create this growth. Let's create this like solid emotions that we can kind of like step in. However, I'm asking for this card to be reversed. Why? In this category, I want to find out what doesn't work. What kind of like has to be fixed in order for things to kind of really work out. You see, in this after tarot, this angel is kind of manifesting. You see, one is connecting with emotions, another one is connecting with the sky. So literally you're getting, I mean, I love you as the sky is high and I love you as the sea is deep. Kind of like everything, kind of universal. And it's like still this like beaming with reaction. So what basically we're going to find out here is like if things that you have to build are sort of unbridgeable, if they can be built. So then I'm taking Queen of Wands, forget the horoscope associations. Of course, when I do Golden Dawn readings, I have to take everything into account. But even at that point, I'm just trying to see more or less personalities. But here I'm looking at how we really want to be seen in a relationship. So that's a significator for one party, generally for ladies. And if there are two ladies, then I put two Queen of Wands. If there are two guys, I put two King of Wands. So don't get all upset that this kind of represents fire signs, because when we start dating, we are all fire. We all start with fire, right? And it's kind of like fun, it's passionate, we are outgoing, we are playful, we are going out. Even if you're a homebody, you will go out. Even if you are recluse, you will go out. Even if, you know, you generally are not very sexual, you'll still have sex. So this is talking about being a little bit different. This is our dating selves, right? So you see here, she has this like beautiful flower, right? And the kitty cat that is right now connecting to her. See, it's kind of like, okay, where do I move from here? Am I kind of staying in my element or not? So here is my communication card. I'm trying to figure out, so in this category here, pardon me, with Queen of Wands, I really want to see what your partner, how did your partner perceive you? So, right, like, I mean, you know that people are generally not really straightforward, and you can go as far as that they're not being honest. So they don't really tell you. They kind of tell you sort of medicated version or kind of sedated version of what they think. And kind of like they don't express generally things that they don't like. So you really don't know what the real opinion is. You just know what you heard. So this is basically telling us what your partner saw in you or how he saw you reacted. So kind of like get this perception they had from their side. Here with 8 of Wands, this is my communication card. With this card, I actually really want to see the intricacies of energies. So this can mean how did you communicate? This can mean how basically, how well do you mesh, right? So in this kind of like position here is showing, okay, are you firing back? Because these wands are falling back, the communication is coming your way. Are you communicating right back? And is this effective communication? So now this is a second significator, right? And this is also same thing. I picked the fire sign, basically significator, because the other person also wants to be seen as cool. This guy wants to be seen, oh my gosh, I'm so charismatic. She kind of like likes me, and you know, I am her king, and kind of like they want to feel this way. You see, kind of like he here has the little salamander, kind of just making his little first step, and here he's holding the salamander basically in his palm. Salamanders basically signify fire, interestingly enough, even though they kind of reside in the rain. Long time ago, in like 13th, 14th centuries, when they were creating these cards, they just saw salamanders jumping out from the fireplaces because they were kind of like be around there, and they thought they were fire animals, and that's how they were actually connected in tarot to fire. So And then I took judgment. And judgment is literally for me to feel out how karmically you basically are reacting. Because I also do karma readings. And in karma readings, I can totally see if people are repeating certain patterns, if they're bringing them from the past lives, and that's my past life reading. And it's kind of like it's easier to understand what's coping. But in this reading, I cannot go in 20, 30, 40 minutes of that. So I'm just trying to get at least an overview. So judgment card is talking about a situation that has been evolving. And maybe it's even dead, but it's come back to be alive just for rendering this opinion. So this is more or less a cosmic judgment, a karma card, right? So here are the two phases of that, right? Here it is like, we are here. What? Have it been good or not good? Is it make it or break it time? And here it is, okay, some of you are just going to be dead, right? So your relationship, it shouldn't go forward, or it should go forward. And this is what karma is saying, right? So I know that we all want relationships, but sometimes it's also good to get closure. And lastly, I'm picking this card for once because this is that celebration card, moving to the next stage. Four corners being solidified. So now some people say this is a marriage. It just means the next step. It could be reunion, it could be reconciliation, it could be just the quality of your relationship. It's not lived happily ever after. Yeah, some of us have been brainwashed with that. You know, it should be called what it is, crap. And please, mothers, don't read these like bad stories to your kids, because if you look how those stories were in their original form, they were not kind or nice at all. So this is just basically saying, are you going to go to the next stage with this person? Because marriage, after all, is just the next stage. There are many marriages that are not working out because you're just starting to build from the scratch. So when I say sometimes in my readings, well, this one phase has to end, another one has to start. So this could mean you're going from dating to steady, from steady to engagement, from engagement, so and so forth, so on. So you see this kind of like movement in this phase is exactly that. You're going from the celebration, I say, okay, we are giving this a try. So in this category, I'm exploring how well you guys are going to do. So when I do all of these categories, then I sort of like look at the intricacies and how this works. So if category, which is supposed to be the glue, is just not forming the glue, no matter how much you want, you're going to fall apart. You can still stick together, hold on to each other like for dear life. It's not going to work out. And it's good to know. So guys, hopefully this is kind of more understanding the categories. Check it on my website as well if you want to see this video again. I'm going to post just a short clip there, but also explanation of each card is over there. And if you want to order this X spread, then you're getting energies that are just between the two of you, not these generic energies that I am actually explaining on my site. The difference is like here there are many people, and so basically some people are cross watchers and they bring their energy. So sure, it can give you some general opinion and you might see it here. Most of the time people do, but to get really the energy between 2 or 3 people, please contact me for a private reading. The prices are on my site, so visit me there at www.cattarot.ca. Thanks, love you. And guys, if you want your spread that is still on the special, it is $45. So please contact me. My information is in the description on the site, or go on my website www.cattarot.ca. Hi Virgo, it's your turn for the X series for the May. You seem to have more grounded horoscope and like you were really taking big steps into repairing yourself. So I really want to see what's going to happen in this spread for you guys, and also understand this is a general reading. When it comes to the personal basically energy, it's like really could be completely different. So for that you need to contact me for your private reading. So let's jump in. If you guys skip that intro, I really know it's extra 10 minutes, but it's really important to understand that this is kind of like really a spread that I spent lots of months, in fact almost a year, developing to really be able to see it from all sides, so I can really say that. And this is only talking about the 4 weeks. When I do it on a private reading, for a private reading, I just like really go into more details, and I go in the past, I go in the present, and sort of like then we are trying to see trajectory in the future. So for those of you who are familiar with it, let's jump right in. What is in your box, manifestation box? Passion. Lovely. Somebody's coming with a passionate offer. What needs to be repaired? Whoa, there you go. There is the thing. You're still working on this codependency, guys, right? I thought you shook it off. It's still kind of there. You still kind of feel kind of like tied to something, that it's kind of like that really urge of not being able to let go. And it's like right off the gate in May. You're really trying to fight it, and it does absolutely need big repair. It's like the energy that makes you think you're with someone, you don't know why, you just like feel the urge. Most people call it love. It's not love, guys. It's not even lust. This could be lust. This is kind of like addiction, right? Addiction is like you're taking something you even know, like actually in this stage you don't even know how bad it is for you. You're still kind of like luring kind of like feeling. So how are you seeing? Like the two significators can be interchanged. Yeah, you're actually seeing that you don't want to commit, or you're just like losing strength in this union. You kind of feel you cannot ground it. It's not, you're not able to tame it, or somebody is looking up to you to provide them with strength, and you're not giving that. The communication. Well, there will be communication the first week about coming back, right? So this is person walking away. What is good about this card is like that sometimes we all are in the situation, and this on and off relationships are usually very significant, because sometimes it's like so painful to let go. And when you have a devil card, it's expected to have this on and off many times until the final split or the final repair. So when you have a card like that, which says, okay, somebody's walking away, too high price to pay. Here, somebody did walk away. It's now coming back, realizing, okay, now I repaired myself a little bit, and let's see if we can repair this. But with the energies around here, okay, we will see. How do they see themselves? You see, they actually coming here with a proposal that they can be the nourishment in this relationship. Especially if you are Virgo guy listening to this. This could be somebody maybe that gets pregnant, or that you actually really see as a possible, you know, mother of your children. Like you're kind of like getting that kind of feeling. But be very careful also for the ladies, kind of like you might feel like, oh my gosh, I really want to have children with this person, really kind of like deep connection. But that's again devil talking to you. Really nothing that genetic coding hating you. It's not your free will. It's almost like really you're manipulated by, you know, devil. Judgment. How is karma seeing this? Karma is seeing, gosh, people, you know what, like, I mean, get a hold of yourself. You need to kind of get some kind of rules and organization and all of that. So this is kind of good here. It can also indicate going in a really good direction. So before I tell you what I think this is, I will go further for now. As far as relationship, there is sort of like cutting off, and it's in this particular case, I think this is actually good. Generally, this is not a great card because it talks about being intrusive. It talks about putting your nose where it's not business. But in your case, I really think that's kind of what is needed in this case. You have like here Page of Wands, and then you have Page of Swords, last ones. It basically, if you really want to be with someone steady and you want to move further toward maybe going to the altar with this person, then you really need to know in and out of this person. And like, looks like these are kind of hidden parts that might be revealed, or you might really pry somebody into telling you about these unsavory things about themselves, or you might reveal that. And you know what, that can be kind of like refreshing, because you'll feel like real connection at that stage, because nobody really wants to talk about things we don't like ourselves. And this can be kind of refreshing moment. So let's see if it is, or it will be just kind of like somebody being just too much to handle. So the next thing is like in your box is like understanding that you cannot keep saying no, that you have to at some point understand that with this person, there are limits to how much they can offer, or there's like not limitless kind of like source of like give me, give me, give me. Or it's either you that you felt you were not nourished, or that somebody feels like they were giving more than taking it. And it just like has to be understanding that, look, you know, it has to be some kind of cooperation, and we have to kind of build it. What needs to be glued, like so you are coming out here, so you have to put yourself together. It's just like what I said about this devil energy. You have to understand that this like lure of that relationship is not love. It's like literally that codependency, like feeling something that happened either in your previous life, or it's kind of written in your karma. It's kind of like really common. So if you want karma reading with me, just come over and we are going to look into what you wrote in your chart, and we'll see how we can bypass that. Especially if every relationship you have, like you feel this like almost agony kind of feeling that on some level, when devil is reversed, you kind of like are starting to understand how unhealthy that is. But here is like, you have to have it, you have to have it, right? Your fix. There you go. Somebody sees you as you took something away from them. And I was showing this to the other sign. I'll show it to you as well. Kind of like in this after tarot, they have this like next stage. Yeah, I think this deck kind of like was very promising initially, but kind of like I'm still not used to it to deal with this. But I like to show it with kind of like their vision of what is happening after that. So they see you as somebody who just like basically robbed them of ideas, of something, right? And they kind of see that you're going to kind of fall into your own trap. And it is possible that you did it, guys, even though you might, you maybe didn't want it to feel this way. This is kind of like that sneaky card, but like sometimes person is not aware of being sneaky. Sometimes you kind of like do things just for your own survival, without understanding or without taking into account everybody. So you see, this person is thinking, oh, I'm so nourishing, and let's talk about coming back, and I want something really serious over here. But then this prying into somebody else could be just to figure out what can you take, or that's how they see you. That doesn't even have to mean this is the way it is. It's just like the way you're being seen. At the same time, maybe it's because of that like really extraordinary like sexual energy that you have, that, you know, they feel maybe that they're being controlled that way, and that you're just basically taking advantage of them. So yeah, and the communication again goes back to, okay, so what about this happiness? Like, I mean, both partners over here I see are basically being lured into this vision of this happiness, and you want it, but like, I mean, where are the elements of building it? Like, there is nothing underneath that kind of like roof. So how do they see themselves? You see, they want to move forward. They do want to kind of like work on that kind of merging these two forces together and kind of really charge ahead. Hi, Shafi. Hi, Shafi. Where's your boyfriend? I heard him. Matrix. Where's Matrix? Where's Matrix? What? What's up, baby? What's up, baby? You like Virgos? Huh? Oh, that's so nice. Who you didn't like? You didn't like Libras, right? Why? Why? Can I finish this here, sweetie? You can sit there. So yeah, in the week 2, you know, in spite of everything, it's going to be kind of like charge forward and with hope for the best. So the person is kind of like seeing you this way, but is still going ahead, and I'm wondering why. I'm wondering if that's actually their energy, that they are seeing you over here as you are the one who have this power over them. So that can be seen that way as well. And they also feel that they're trying to please you, they're trying to nourish you, and they kind of see you as you're kind of rejecting everything. And yet maybe you're rejecting everything because maybe they are just like too much in your business. So that can be seen that way too. So karmically, okay, so there is some kind of balance coming here, like give and take, and this is like your pentacle energy. So this is really, really good for sort of like starting to solidify the base. But again, we have this like comeback energy, spin in a circle. That's the devil energy. It's kind of wash machine head, right? Like you just keep circling. Like, you know, like how hard it's like to stop the world. You know, it's just like it spins, like to hold it, it's impossible, and you cannot make the next day be again. So this is the Groundhog Day scenario over here, over and over and over again. And this is basically what's happening. This person is like offering something, one side is offering something and trying to come back, and this is also coming back, and it's also kind of codependency, keeps spinning in same kind of like motions. And yet results kind of like are ranging from indifference to let's charge ahead. So oh my gosh, I don't know what to make out of it. So let's see the third week. So in a toolbox, there is some kind of like sense of hopelessness, or maybe sense that this is not healthy, sense that somebody needs to heal and they're not healing. It's kind of overwhelming, kind of, maybe it's even some kind of communication, miscommunication. What needs to be glued? Queen of Pentacles. Well, Queen of Pentacles can represent you because it's Pentacle card, but when it's reversed, it talks about a person that is vain, that is like a spender, that kind of like is not really taking care of the finances. But here is coming like the devil, like you are here between the devil and the Pentacles, needs to be repaired. So I'm wondering if this actually person has somebody's, maybe this actually Empress and Hierophant, does this actually talks about them being married, them being in a serious relationship, and hence this cannot move forward to the next stage. And yet they're like telling you all these great things, they're very romantic, they're promising you the world and emotional fulfillment, and they know they'll be grabbing something away from you, or you know that's going to happen. So let's see how they see you. So yeah, on some level you're checking out here. 9 of Wands reversed is like you're tired of being pulled in kind of different directions. So yeah, there's jealousy all of a sudden, like somebody, like your relationship here is like very emotional. It's all kind of like remaking, kissing up, leaving, coming back, making out, jealousy. It's full of drama, I would say. And it's possible to be a third person, or it's possible that somebody is always trying to fix somebody, or maybe both of you are trying to fix somebody, even though at some point you're kind of coming in the second week on the same kind of like page, but for a very short period of time. So here we have, look at this, we have a Queen of Pentacles and we have a King of Pentacles, and that will be you and your partner, but like sort of like one is inverse, as you can see. So sort of like you are together but you're not together. And karma is saying this, guys, how can you do that? This is like you are like, again, this world energy like keeps spinning the same things over and over and over in your head. It's like number 9. I'm saying, look, you know, you have to stop this. You have to get out of it. This is kind of like really ridden with this is devil energy. All of it is like that energy where you kind of like sit in bed at night and you're wondering, oh my gosh, what could I have said? Like, I mean, oh, why did he do that? I'm so angry about what he did. And yet seeing him as this guy and reliable, it's just like you are torn between these two visions that you have about him and not acknowledging what is really happening. And what is really happening is that you're really not seeing the partner for what he or she is. And you're not really seeing yourself for what who you are, because like there's like that kind of luring between the two of you and almost dramatic. And yeah, it's saying here it's definitely sexual, and this is basically all there is. And see the last week again, the third person here. What needs to be fixed is how this relationship is built. So it's not being built, or is being built with somebody else. How are you feeling? Maybe you are the one who is juggling. Maybe you are this one who has the second, who has a partner on the side. And that's why kind of like you are luring this person in sexually, and they're offering you this love, and they're offering this reliability, and they are maybe the ones having all these nightmares and hoping for the best, and hoping, you know, that something or other marriage is not going to do it. And they're trying to maybe find information from you or about you, maybe by spying on you, looking into your social media accounts, what you're posting, your photographs, Instagram, Facebook. Be careful about that. communication, it's kind of like giving up on this. It's kind of like this whole thing is like not going well. And here we go. And the partner is finally, see, going from a 9 to 10. It's pretty bad. Like partner does feel being backstabbed, kind of, but already like starting to heal a little bit by the last week. And karma is saying this relationship didn't have boundaries, and without boundaries, who wants what, you cannot really go in a relationship. And there you go. It's going to actually end up the month with having a whole bunch of bad memories. It's going to be just bad taste in your mouth, bitterness, and both of you are going to just wake up and say, oh my gosh, what happened? What happened? Why did I behave this way? Why did that partner behave this way? You just like literally are not going to recognize yourself, and this is guided devil energy. It's almost like you cannot help yourself, so I don't blame you. But guys, as I said, this is a general reading. Your personal reading might be completely different. For that, contact me, and in the meantime, love you. Take care.